Hey Tammy, take me to lunch?
Yep.
Good. Alright, Christina Nolan says, how do you get dame and sire DNA? The pedigree states that they are DNA tested. Well, that is a different thing. DNA tested on a pedigree means they've been DNA tested for parentage. And that does not do you, it's got nothing to do with colour whatsoever at all. So what you got to do is you've got to do a swab or a dew claw or send some DNA material in, and I use Animal Genetics out of Tallahassee, Florida. Right now they're pretty quick. Within a few days of them receiving your sample, they'll give you results, typically in about 3 or 4 days. My French Bulldog's 4 months old. This is from Christina Dominique Cortez. Has floppy ears. Is there any chance her ears will stand up? Yeah, you're a bit late on this. I mean, you try it. So the problem is that when puppies are born, and for the first 5-6 weeks, they've just got pretty soft cartilage, and it starts to harden up as time goes on. And what you got to do is get those ears taped up, like in our videos, and doing that makes them stay up, and the cartilage then hardens. But so to 4 months, I mean, try it. You might get it, you might not. Chen Yao, my female is day 9 of a heat and came back to a level of 0.7. Is this normal for a second heat? Well, normally on day 9 it's about ovulation, normally it's about a 5, but you got a prolonged heat, it's a younger dog, so don't get too worried about it, just keep on testing. With a 0.7 I test in 5 days. So with a 0.7, let's call that a 1, next day's a 2, next day's a 3, next day's a 4, next day's a 5, so about 5 days to ovulation and about 7 days to breeding. Mexican beauty queen, after they deliver puppies, when do they get their heat again? Well, the time between heats, it's got nothing to do with whether they had puppies or not, or whether they were pregnant. It makes no difference. It's about 6 months. Smaller dogs can be longer, bigger dogs more regular. Do you agree with that, Tammy?
Why are you holding your hands
That's like
like
6 months between the spaces.
That's your 6 months?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were doing the Longhorn sign. What the hell?
Well, that'd be that.
Yeah.
Down.
No, you were doing it.
We're in Oklahoma.
We're Oklahoma.
We're in Oklahoma.
You gotta go down.
Gotta go down with the Longhorns. Down. That's right. If you're in Texas, well, anyway.
Yeah.
About 6 months, but it does vary. Does EE cover Merle? This is from Julio Giron. Yes. And how can I produce?
Cream covers everything.
But you know, it's interesting. Cream does cover everything. But I had a person the other day who had a cream Merle, and you could see a little bit of merling on the skin that showed up a little bit. So
Was it a honey pied?
No, it was probably a
honey
Merle.
pieds.
Yeah, do that too. Right.
Yeah.
So you know, there can be something slightly confusing, but basically a cream dog, you'd expect it to be pretty much cream. Now, cream does come in different colours all the way through apricot through almost white. But yeah.
Almost golden color too.
I have one dog with recessive black. Can I produce an all black with that? Yes, you can. So a dog. So how do you produce a all black dog? Well, one way you produce an all black is in fact a brindle. We don't want that. At least not in our camp, right, Tammy?
Right.
But a double A dog, they're interesting because a double A dog can produce tan points AAT or a solid color AA. So how do you get a black dog? And the answer is, it has got to be an AA dog that is not blue and is not chocolate and not cream. And if you get that, so basically that'd be then it will be a solid black dog. And we've got one called Johnny Cash, and he's got a beautiful, absolutely
he's
solid,
got like a triple coat,
solid black coat. And he is an AA dog that carries blue and cocoa and cream. So there you go. You can do it, and there you don't see very many of them. They're pretty rare in my book. Pretty rare. I like them.
He has beautiful babies. Saw a litter not too long ago.
Maya Oistler. I've tried a breast pump and find that it's far more effective to express my hand. So what she's doing is she uses a syringe, draws the milk by hand like you'd milk a cow into a cup, and then puts it into syringes, and then I guess she's freezing it. Yeah. Right, so there's quite a bit more here, but I'll read it later. We'll make a comment there.
Turn right onto West Edmond Road.
So Carrie Michaelic asked, can you update videos on centrifuge and progesterone machines? Well, okay, the centrifuge now, if you look at, I don't know if there's a picture of it, but it's a small unit, it's not variable speed, it's quiet, and it works really well. And as far as the progesterone machine, it's the same progesterone machine. It says plus on it, that's the difference, but it's the same progesterone machine you see me using. So somebody's asking about the DNA on the recent Eurohero kit litter. It says, isn't it too early for a swab test for DNA? Yes.
Yeah.
We didn't.
We always do claws.
There you go. Send the claws in. Easy.
We do claws.
Easy peasy.
That's how come we can do it in 3 days. When they're 3 to 5 days, we do claws, and that's when we send it off.
That's right.
Then you don't have to wait so long. You get the results real quick.
Somebody made a comment on how to fix dog's cherry eye. I said surgery is the only option. I've fixed cherry eyes by manipulation. Depends on how bad it is.
Yep.
So although you say it's the only option,
you can.
it's not the only option. I absolutely have done it. Is Merle recognised? This is Karen Haddon. Is Merle recognised for show? No, it's not. Well, you're in England because you spell colour with a C-O-L-O-U-R, so I know you're English. I don't know about the UK, but I suspect not in the UK either. Certainly not in the United States.
Turn right, then turn left.
Gonna have to hurry up, mend it.
Head east.
So somebody here is asking, can they get
200 feet, your destination will be on the left.
in contact with us? Yes, my number's 580-799-2873. Give me a call.
That's somebody picking up.
I have a question. This is No Mum Worries. Got a 6-week-old litter of Frenchies. How often should I be feeding them? The puppies are now 6 weeks old. Twice a day. Feed them in the morning, feed them in the evening.
What puppies? 6 weeks
French,
old?
yes.
Yeah, well.
You like that answer?
I like to let them eat as much as they want. I know some people are like, oh, but they poop everywhere when you do that.
So you leave food out all the time?
I would.
So yes. Well, okay. So here's the deal. Look, if you leave food out all the time, that's fine. But you are going to have poop all the time, so that's the negative of it. At some point, you do want to
If you have a small litter, you could leave it out all the
There
time.
you go. Exactly. I was going to
you
say,
got a litter of 9 like we did with those fluffies. There's no way.
Yeah.
When we had all those fluffies, 9 fluffies, that was
yeah.
not
And the other
fair.
thing is
you have to separate them when they're that
you
big.
want to wean these puppies before they go home.
Oh yeah.
And so at that point, you really do want to get them on a regular feeding schedule.
And I probably boost them up to dry by the time they're 7 weeks old. So they're, 7 to 7.5 weeks old because they go home at 10 weeks. And I start less softening the kibble. So it's a little bit harder each time that they eat it, every 5 days, and then it's soon.
So let's go the whole process.
Dry.
You get them on puppy
Okay.
moose when they're about 4.5, 5 weeks old, right? Then you transition to soften.
No, about 3.5 to 4 weeks.
Okay, 3.5, 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Then you transition to softened kibble, and then you just transfer to just regular kibble.
Well, wait a minute. I do put them on moose at 4.5 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I make it real thin so they can lap it up like a gravy.
So mix it with goat's milk.
And then I do that for about 4 days. And then once they got the consistency down that they're licking that all up, then I make it a little thicker, like a thick gravy. And then I graduate them 4 days after that to straight moose.
Right.
And then I'll start that for about a week. And then I'll go to real soft, dry kibble, and I moisten that with warm water for about 30 minutes. And then I'll crunch it up with the fork, where it's all crunched up for them. I say crunched, it's all softened. So it's
easy to chew it.
Yeah. And they'll eat on that for about a week. And then I'll eventually graduate them from that to just softened kibble. And what we use is Life Abundance Puppy, and you can get that on our website, www.mybreedersupply.com.
I'm hungry.
Bye,
buddy. Hey, thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate people who subscribe to me. It helps me, encourage me to do more of these videos. But do remember, disclaimer here, I am not a vet. I'm not a licensed medical professional. I'm purely a person who's been breeding dogs for the last couple of decades. Any information that you got from this video, use at your own risk. There's nothing implied here, and certainly this should not be used as a substitute for advice from your veterinarian or your medical professional. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back for more of them. Bye.